Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Shanny Talks. Hey. We were gonna talk about fun stuff this week, but I didn't get enough songs, I don't think, to like take up like an entire amount of a podcast. I gotta wait. So we're gonna talk about something serious this week, but just because it got brought up this week, and it's been something that I've been like wanting to talk about since before I like even started doing this. It's been something that's been on my mind for a while now, and like it's pretty real. It's pretty like it's more serious, if you will. But I don't know. It got brought up this week, and I don't know. I just figured, why not? Because I got plenty to talk about this situation. So the situation in question is just talking about like neurodivergence and like being on the spectrum, and how that has personally affected my life. Yeah. So basically, like, being neurodivergent is just being a little bit different in terms of the way that you process social cues, communication, like interaction, behaviors. They say it's like a little bit like of a developmental disability, but it's just basically just differences in your brain versus like the standard typical normal adult, if you would. And I put quote in quotes because it's just like, what is normal anyways, you know? Who knows what? You know, they were like literally torturing people that they thought were like mentally ill back in the day, you know what I mean? And they were just like having like panic attack or, you know, whatever. So mental health has come a long way. And, you know, just in general, I feel like things are different now. And so like I know that people are like growing up and realizing that they've like been misdiagnosed with depression their whole life, you know, and it's specifically women have been misdiagnosed with like depression and anxiety their whole life, when it's just like ADHD. You know what I mean? Because it's just like back then when they were like creating all these definitions and these like labels, they were looking at cis white men. So, yeah, but just, I don't know. Being on the spectrum is just really like, you know, they say people with autism are on the spectrum. They have people with just like developmental disabilities, ADHD, dyscalculia, dyslexia, Down syndrome, whatever it's going to be. It's just different processing, really. Like, you know, I've been doing some research, and it's just really that your brain works differently than the average standard processing that they say, you know, is normal. And a lot of times it comes with better memory and like the ability to be able to like picture things in your head differently than people, and be able to solve complex problems easily, things like that. But how it got introduced in my life and the way that it got kind of brought up to me in terms of like, maybe this has like some kind of connection, Shannon. Like, Shanny, maybe you're on the spectrum. What? It's because I had some fake ass friends, some whack ass friends, that, you know, I'm gonna take it back. Maybe you're not that fake, but you know, for doing what you did, it was fake. So don't even talk to me about that. But I had some coworkers, and I was pretty good friends with one of them and not good friends with another, and they were friends. And I found out that the one that I wasn't friends with was talking to the one that I was friends with, and was telling them that they didn't think that I was neurotypical. And like, for me, I'm like, bitch, what? How dare you? How fucking dare you to say that about me, number one? And then number two, friend, how are you not going to tell me that this person's so comfortable telling you this shit about me? Whack. So anyways, that's how it got brought up in my life, you know? And then it started me down a path of like starting to take a step back and question and be like, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm not neurotypical. Maybe I am neurodivergent. That does kind of, there are a couple things that kind of add up here, And it just got me thinking, and there's different reasons why, and I'm going to get into those reasons. But it definitely got me to a point of where I am at a point of like, I have self-diagnosed with autism because I think that I am on the spectrum. And like, spectrum is just like, a wide line. And I think I might be like at the end, like at the end of the line, the top end. And that's why nobody knew. And that's why I like barely am just thinking about this and processing this now. So, I mean, this is still like a work in progress. I still got to go to therapy about this, but this is just what we're talking about. But so things that I've noticed that just like little things here and there that have definitely been like indicators, I guess, that I just have different processes in this little noggin of mine. But one thing is I'm really weird about plans. And like, if we're going to have plans, like I want to make sure that like, we're communicating about the plans, like talking about the plans, and like say that we have talked about, like, say we made a time that we're going to hang out. And then I hit you up like an hour before, like, hey, what's up? I'm about to head out and be on my way. You need to also tell me that like, okay, yes, I'm ready to receive you. And then I'm going to head on my way. Because if you don't tell me, if you don't okay me telling you that I'm initiating the plan, I'm not going to start the plan. You know what I mean? Even though in your head you might be like, oh, but the plan's already engaged. I'm like, nah, bro, you need to do your part. Because I did my part. I tell you, hey, bro, I'm about to come over. And then you got to be like, okay, cool, see you soon. Or like, thumbs up, roger that. You know what I mean? Copy, move forward. You know what I mean? Like, if I hear radio silence, I'm not going to come. I'm just going to be like, okay, so are you ready? You want me to come now? What's up? Like I need more communication. And also, if things get canceled or things change plans or whatever, I get like definitely like really bothered by that, because it's like I already had like this plan and like mentally prepared for whatever we were about to do in my head, and now I have to like change it. I have to change the mentality and the headspace that I was prepared to be in. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I don't think so. I'm not going anymore. Sorry, bro. Yeah. Or sometimes I'm really happy that plans are canceled, and then I'm like really, really wanting them to be canceled, and then I'm upset that I have to go and do the plans, even though I know I already like planned and initiated everything. I don't know. This is another weird thing, but sometimes I'll hear like, this sounds weird, but like electricity. So like sometimes if like I'll hear like the Xbox on, or like the TV will be on, and then I'll be like, oh, did you turn the TV off? And then my partner will be like, yeah. And then I'll be like, no, you didn't. And then it'll be like, no, I did. And then we'll go back and the TV will be on, but just because I heard it on. So sometimes that's kind of weird. Like, so sometimes I'll be like walking past shit and then just be like, what the fuck is that noise? Like, what is that? Like, ugh. And I feel like it's like at a frequency that people don't hear. I'm like, do you hear that? And people are like, what are you talking about? I'm like, that like buzzing or like that humming or that like ringing. And they're like, no, I don't fucking hear that. And I'm like, okay, cool. Sometimes I am like very, very hyper aware of social cues and like changes in body language and like temperaments and things like that, and like attitudes and things like that. Very, very hyper aware. And people like have told me like, you are the most like observant person that I know, like in a bad way. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, I get it. I know. And that also comes with like, a couple episodes back with like being scared of everything, but being scared of being kidnapped and shit. But also like just hyper aware of just like everybody. Like if I'm in a group setting and I see some people like, just get like visibly like agitated or annoyed, you know, like I'll just be just like more very conscious and aware of that and like bring it to attention. And then people are like, how did you see that? Why did you notice that? You know, like, I don't know. But that leads into my next thing, that I'm very, very sensitive to people's energies. I'm very empathetic, and sometimes that really sucks because I'm just like a little sponge, like, and just suck up everybody's energies, and it's really crappy. But yeah, I don't know. Sometimes I feel kind of witchy because I'm like, you're super sensitive. Ooh, know what you're thinking. Anyways, but I get very easily overstimulated. Like if it's like super hot, super hot, and that doesn't do well for me living in fucking Las Vegas. I'm gonna tell you that. Almost had a panic attack at watching the fucking hockey game couple weeks ago. But like heat, noise, and like touch, sometimes it's just like too much, like physically, like ugh. Sometimes I'll just get like, I'll just like feel shit like in my spine, you know, and then I just get like really grossed out and like I started wearing earplugs to functions and like when I go out, and it has like highly increased my mood and like likelihood of like having a good attitude like when I'm out. So that's something that I just like started doing after I learned that I was like, maybe I am autistic. Maybe I am a little autistic. And like, then I started wearing earplugs everywhere, and it's been so nice. And I'm like, you know, even if I'm not, like some of these coping mechanisms that like really help. They're very, very nice. And they've been like very lovely to like experience. So, yeah. Because yeah, sometimes I'll just be triggered, you know? I know, like in my mind, I know that I'm like overly upset about stuff, and I like cannot control it. And I think that's, maybe I have anger issues. Maybe I got to go to therapy for that too, get some anger management. But like, I don't know why, but there's just sometimes where it's just like, I just like, it's just like I had this idea in my head and it's changed, like I am just like flip switch. And I know mentally, like, bro, you're overreacting. Stop being like this. Like, fucking chill out. Like, you're being crazy. Like, stop. But like, I can't. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's wrong. So that's really bad. I know, but like, I think a good thing is that I'm aware of it and that I'm like working on it, but also it's not good because it's like I still do it and I still have issues with it. So, you know, we're a work in progress. We're a fucking work in progress, you know? That's what we're here for. That's why we're watching this podcast. That's why you're here. That's why I'm making this podcast. That's why I'm trying to be a life coach, because it is. That's all we're trying to do is just be better. That's all I'm trying to do is just be better. And it's really fucking hard. It's really hard. Like, just out here trying to, you know, treat people the way I want to be treated, and it's just hard. Just trying to be what I want to see in the world, and it's really hard, you know. I be fidgeting a lot, and y'all have already seen it. I've been fucking with this pen. You know, I'm moving back and forth. I tap a lot. Mom knows I already mess with my nose ring a lot. You know, I can't help it. So like, as soon as I started introducing like poppers and fidget spinners, I had like a fidget spin popper. Oh my God, that thing was the best. But then I broke all my pops in it, and then it was just a spinner, and then it was just worthless. But I have like a little pineapple popper, and my dad got me like a little centipede, like stringy centipede. It's like all like, you can move it around and stuff. It's really nice. And that also has like helped and improved. And like, see, I have like stuff like this. This one's really nice. This one is like a sensory thing because it's really pokey, and I like to poke it on my hands. So that's really nice too. So it's just weird things like that. Another thing too is just like being very blunt about things and like just being very upfront and like honest, and like I need better soft skills. I know that. I have been working on that for a long time and it's gotten a lot better, but I have a lot of work to do still. I know that. But yeah, like just sometimes I just don't know how to not do that. You know, sometimes I don't know how to not be like that. And like, a lot of times I just don't get it. I don't get like how people don't see it the way I see it. And a lot of times, you know, my partner tells me like, you just think differently. Like you just think about things differently. He's like, the way that you explain the way that you think about things, he's like, I would never think like that. He's like, I would never think about things like that. And I'm just like, but why not? Like, I don't, but why wouldn't you think like that? You know what I mean? Like in my mind, it doesn't make sense. And so a lot of times he tells me like, you just think differently. He's like, people don't think like that. People don't think the way that you think. And I don't have any examples for that right now, but that is just like the example that I need. It's just like the way that I think is just different, I guess. Like, I guess that ties into something like this. Like at work, I have a hard time because, you know, my management and my upper people tell me, you know, all these things, and they make all these promises, and they tell us all this stuff, and they write us all this stuff in their email and whatever. And then like when I'm asking them to like provide it and like be accountable, then they're mad. And then they want to be mad at me. And I'm like, okay, but bro, you told me you were going to do this. Like, I'm holding my end of the bargain. I'm holding up my end of the bargain. I'm providing excellent customer service. You want good reviews, I'm getting you them. Like, you want customers to be coming back and asking me for me by name, and they do that. Like, people are happy when they see me. I'm happy. I'm good to my coworkers. Like, I'm providing. Why aren't you providing? You know, and I got myself into a lot of trouble because it's like I'm taking them for face value. And apparently I'm supposed to read between the lines. But I'm like, what? Why? You tell me this is what I need to do, so I do it. And you tell me that you're going to do something for me, and you're not doing it. So why are you mad at me when I hold you accountable? Tell me why. I'm confused, you know? Like, but apparently I'm not supposed to think like that. Apparently I'm just supposed to just be thankful that they're giving me a crumble of the cookie, you know? Like, fuck the fuck. No, got me fucked up. So, yeah, so that's kind of a problem. It's been a problem, but I've been trying to be better about it. I've been trying to just like rein it in, reel myself in, like, Shannon, okay, people don't always mean what they say. You know, my mom always told me, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see. And like, it's really hard. One weird thing about me is that if I have like a drink that I have to hold, I'm finishing it because I can't hold it. And that is a bad thing because a lot of times those drinks have alcohol in them. And then when I'm holding them, then I'm drunk, and then it's bad times for little Shani. Like, I'll just be out here making horrible choices. And then I'm like keeping going because everybody is holding a drink, and I have to hold one too because they're all holding one. And I had to finish it because I can't hold it. So that's a big part of problems in my past. I was in gifted classes growing up. You know, they were like, oh my God, she's so gifted. Ooh, she's so smart. Blee, blee, blee. Like, okay. And I'm just like, it sounds kind of cocky, but I'm just good at all the things. And I don't have to try very hard to be good at the things. Like, I do put all my effort in because I try to give my best, because that's one of the 4 agreements. You know, that's one of the books that I'll fucking prescribe if you're going to be in my life coaching program. But, yeah, like, I always try to do my best at everything. And I am the best. And so I don't know. It's like it's a good it's definitely good to have this just blinding confidence, because it's just like, you know, we all should have the confidence and audacity of a white man in America, right? Am I right? Yeah. But also, like, I do feel like confident in knowing like my skills and abilities. Like, no matter what, I will fucking excel and exceed no matter what. You want me to sell life insurance? Great, I'll sell life insurance and I'm gonna make hella money. You want me to do this? Great, I'm gonna do this and I'm just gonna be amazing and successful at it. I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. I don't know how I got these magical powers and I'm awesome, but I'm so grateful. And I think on the spectrum. But one thing that kind of all ties this in together, and it's really weird, and it's like, it kind of like was back when I was like, oh my God, maybe I am, and blah, 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 you know, kind of doing all this realization, is that like, before I was born, a long, long time ago, you know, they would like, you know, shoot the mom in the stomach and tell you like, oh, your kid's gonna be fine, or oh, your kid's gonna be unhealthy, or your baby's sick, or whatever. So they told my mom and my dad that I was gonna be like really deformed and like have Down syndrome and just be really sick and just not a healthy baby. And my parents were like, okay. And the doctors were like, nah, you should like, you know, you can take this, you know, be over and it'll be cool and you could try again. They're like, nah. However it comes, we'll take it. However it comes out, we're gonna take it. And then bam, my mom calls me her little miracle baby because she said I came out just so perfect and cute. And I don't know, it's kind of weird because it's just like, why would they say all that stuff? You know, great, I came out awesome and amazing, but like, maybe there's something in my DNA that said, hey, something's not adding up or whatever. I don't know. But like I said, like for me, I feel like I am on the spectrum, but I feel like I am on the end of the spectrum. I'm super high functioning, you know, like I don't need a lot of help in a lot of ways, but I do think that I have a lot of things that kind of about myself that are quirky, I guess, to put it lightly, that explain a lot of these quirks that I have. And just, I don't know, when I started doing things to kind of help and like cope with some of the things that I was experiencing, it helped my experience. And not to say that I am, you know, I still need to go and get a diagnosis. I don't, you know, I'm not even trying to look into that and do all of that, honestly, because it's just like, for me, like I feel valid and I feel seen and I feel heard and like what I feel. And like, for me, wearing my earplugs and like taking myself out of like overstimulating situations and giving myself grace when I don't see things in a particular way, like it's helped me a lot in the last like year and a half with just like feeling better and not so like shitty and feeling like I'm shitty and something's like so fucked up and so wrong with me. And like, I don't know. There's a lot of still self-reflection, but yeah. So you know, it was brought up to somebody, you know, they said that like, oh, you know, this person didn't tell me, you know, that they were on the spectrum. And I'm like, oh, but like, did they know? Because like for me, like I just fucking found out, you know, I just figured this out a little bit ago, and it explains a lot about the way that I process and the way that I am in my relationships and my friendships. And like, I also have to remember, like, go back to those words, like, people don't think like me. People don't think the way that I think. And so that's like, I don't know, it's hard to think about when I'm like, but it's just so simple. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get why people don't get it, you know? And I'm like, I'm on a whole nother level, you know? People are on this level, and I'm like down here, you know, on this level. So, yeah, that's pretty much all my whole list. A lot of information there. Sorry, everybody. But yeah, I guess shout out to my haters, you know, because they're the ones that kind of brought this to light and like, you know, we're talking shit about it basically, but yeah. Maybe next week we'll have a little less serious talk. Some a little more fun. Let me know if there's any songs that you think that you thought you knew in the comments down below, or however you comment. I don't know if it's up above or down below, wherever, however it is. Write me in the comments. Let me know. Because I'm saying, like, there's so many songs that I was like singing and I thought I knew, and I'm singing the words and they're like, what did you just say? And I'm like, da 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 da. And they're like, that is not it. That is not the words. So please, y'all, seriously, let me know. Love y'all. See you next week. Bye.